Everybody, my name's Matt. I work at onechurch.to as the creative director, and I also direct the music team. And so I build the tracks for the weekend, and I thought I should start doing a good job at training other people and teaching others how I do it. So this is just a quick video of how I set up tracks in terms of when we purchase them online, how do I prep them to be good quality, like sounding stuff for our teams that they're used to. There's a couple reasons why we do this. One, it saves a lot of time. If you do it once right, when you, like for instance, when you introduce a song, I think it's worth taking the time to set up the tracks at that point, because every time you use it after that, it'll save you time in terms of a lot of things. But second of all, the more consistent you are with stuff, the easier it is on your team in terms of cues and consistency. So a couple of things that are worth mentioning. I just pulled in this is from multitracks.com. I also get stuff from loopcommunity.com. And if an artist has their own multitracks, any of those three ways, sometimes we make our own. I would love to do that every time, but ain't nobody got time for that. So what I've done here is I've actually deleted the guide vocal from Multitracks. And the reason I did that is because I don't find it to be helpful. But that's why we're doing this video. Okay, so what would be helpful? First of all, too, I've taken the click and I've made my own. I have a preset. This is what it sounds like. So it's a pretty slow song. So I've taken... and I might as well show you if you're interested. Let me just pull that track back in. I have a standard setup in Click 2. By the time you watch this, I don't even know if it exists, but I'm using Rim Acoustic and Rim Shake Accent, both accents, and it sounds like that. Now you're hearing in between accent. This song is slow enough that I've taken what I consider to be kind of a tough to hear click from Multitracks and use it as the in-between accent. Okay, so don't want to spend too much time on that, but that's how I get a good click. I feel like that gives a good feel for this song. Stuff like 6/8 can be difficult as well. Second, I'll go through the tracks and do any kind of editing to what I feel. So I'm going to make two versions of this song, but first I'm going to do the standard recording arrangement, and then I'm going to add a double chorus at the end because I think we'll want to do that most of the time we use it. Second thing on this song, this is The Stand by Hillsong, but this is the Young and Free version. So I've taken, there's this piano hit over here, and I've just reversed it and used it as an intro. Main reason I put that in there is because if you're a worship leader and you have to jump in cold, the verse starts right on that piano. So to not know your note is kind of tough. So that's why I did that, just to help with that. And I'll probably have a pad going or something in the actual sets, but this is how I did it. Just a little bit insurance. Okay, so there's that. So I'm happy with it. I've gone through and listened through it, and this is something that might be a little bit anal, but I find it saves time in the long run. I've gone through and added all the markers where the different sections are that I want to add stuff. Then I've gone and I've imported guide vocal cues. I got these from multitracks.com a while ago. I don't know if they're still up there. They were a free download. I also got some from Loop Community, and so I've gone and done that. So that's what I've done with this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'll just build the first bit of it for you, and then I think that'll be it for this video. So I've pulled all of the ones that are in those cues into my bin here, and I'm just going to pull them in here. And so I've got a count. And this is one of the things I do. And when I first started doing it, I thought it might be annoying if everyone heard this every time. But I've actually found that this has saved us quite a few times. And that's just to have the count.
1, 2, 3, 4.
you know, as humans, we get cues really easily. So I'll just make that I'll call it count. Woo. And then I can find it easy in the bin. And then I'm just gonna pull in, duplicate that everywhere, just drag and drop it as a copy and paste. And often what I'll do is I'll just take the whatever it is that needs to be said. Sometimes in a song this slow, with the tempo, I'll put that cue right in the top there. So we hear
verse 2, 3, 4.
Used to before creation. Okay, so that's that deal. So I'll go through and I'll do that through the entire thing. Then what I'll do is I'll actually make instrument mixes. So going over here, I'm gonna just pull everything down a bit, and then I'll get something like the loop and I'll make it be not as quiet. So we hear that kind of a mix. I'll pull down the quick here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is a pretty simple recording. There's one guitar part and pretty simple. So it gives a good idea. This is the kind of stems that I'll bounce this out and I'll send that to the drummer and say this is a kit mix. And I'll do that with each instrument. Sometimes you'll have 6 or 7 guitars if it's a Hillsong United tune or something. And I'm trying to mix down a good example of a rhythm guitar. And sometimes that's an acoustic on the left, and I'll just pan it all to one side. And the electric rhythm on the other side. Sometimes I'll have 2 or 3 stem mixes for them, but I try to have one rhythm mix, one electric lead, or I just call it lead mix, because I think guitars should be increasingly not just playing acoustic for rhythm, but also electric. And then we'll have keys mix, bass mix, kit mix, and we've done some percussion mixes recently because we have a few extra drummers. Believe it or not, it's a bit of a miracle for our team, and they will play percussion alongside. So sometimes we'll take some of the percussion parts and put it up there so they can learn some parts. Okay, so that's it for this video. I don't know if it's helpful, but I'll show you how I build the Ableton tracks, and there might be a link. I don't know. Well, why don't we put one right here? There you go. Click on that and it'll take you to the Ableton tracks, how we set up our tracks, which is probably a bit unique, but it's been helpful to get stuff done quick. All right, ciao.